Bobby, and we did our project on the school attendance policy at Mount Pleasant High School. And right now the current policy is if you exceed 9 or more absences in any of your classes, you lose credit for that class unless you take a testing out exam and pass it with a certain grade, or you can appeal your absences also. And we are proposing that instead of that, if you have a certain grade, like say 75% in that class, and you exceed 9 more absences, you still get credit for the class.
And if you don't, then you still got to take the testing out.
Yes. And
like, we think it's, the reason we don't agree with this is because we looked at a lot of attendance policies from different schools, and what we saw is that a lot of them are similar to the way and that there's a punishment when you get to a certain ones, but it doesn't really seem to affect the grades on the class, and I don't really get that.
you don't lose, there's no policies where if you exceed a certain number of absences, you completely lose credit for the class.
You just get referrals.
Research that we've done.
These are,
We got some examples.
Second right now I have the same one. You get 14 in a year. They got a student loan, you have to get a referral. Most places have an appeal process. Shepherd does not have anything when it comes to excused absences. You can accumulate as many as you want, as long as they're excused. But once you get unexcused absences, then you got to meet with, I forget from the GI or USD attendance officer. I forget what it stands for, but it's basically a true officer. If you don't go to school and you're not excused, then you're going to get in trouble. Clearly has a 9-day limit, it's only per semester though. It's the same thing, it's excused or unexcused. And then they have a thing where they set up a 3 makeup session. So if you miss a certain amount of days, if you exceed that limit, you have a chance to make up. And that's kind of their way of their testing out things. Midlands is kind of the same as ours. It's everything excused or unexcused. It's only 12 days for the whole year. But if you're a senior and you exceed it, then you got to pass your final exam with a 70, which is kind of what we were talking about with the grade requirement. It's not a big old testing out exam, it's just a normal exam. We couldn't find anything. I don't know if Bay City doesn't have an official attendance policy, but Bay City Central and Western didn't seem to have any official thing. That was kind of like what our school did last year. We didn't have an policy. Flint doesn't have one. It's got to be there sometimes. And passing the classes. Heritage, they're allowed 14 in a year. It's the same way as here. You have to take what a doctor's on. If you do exceed the limit though, for starts, it's like the same area. It's you gotta go meet with them. It's like a school board. You gotta meet with them, and that's what you do your absences. Saginaw, I don't know. They're kind of unclear in this thing. I don't really think they review it after every 5 absences or 7 parties. It's the same. If it's like excused, then they don't even do anything. I think it's mostly for unexcused absences. They have a minimum requirement to get either 9% of the time. Year-round schools don't have an attendance policy, just because they are year-round. And having schools that aren't year-round and you're going constantly, it does increase the chance for a burnout in students and teachers. Being here every day from 7:37 to 2:41 can be really exhausting. So people don't want to be here every single day for every single hour and still get good grades. I don't understand why they're punished for that. Last year I had 150 absences overall my 3rd trimester. I had a 3.9 and I was academic all baseball. I'm not saying everybody could do that, but I'm saying in situations like mine, I feel like it's unfair that I can go to class that little and still achieve grades like that. And if I would get in trouble for that because I don't go, I don't think that's fair. we met with Wiltshire. We showed them the video we're about to show you of the interviews of we interviewed kids, we interviewed teachers around the school about what they thought about the attendance policy and what we thought we should implement about them and where and grade. And he liked what we had to say, and so did Clyde. And I don't know where it's going to go from here, but this and taking excused absences not counting towards your 9 or 10, they like that idea too.
Like you can pass our class will not be.
This is a video.
Mrs. Taylor, and they're really hard about the attendance policy. Do you know the attendance policy in the high school?
I know that you can only have 24 absences in a class, or you have the other two.
And do you think that's a good policy to have?
No,
Why not?
because they don't know what goes on outside of our lives, outside of school. Stuff can happen all the time. We have our own agendas.
What do you think should be changed about it? What do you think can make it better?
Just make it different. Something completely different.
Anything else?
Anything else.
Have you ever had 10 or more absences in a class?
Yes, I have 3 classes this term that I have to review.
So you're going to appeal them, you're not going to take the testing out test?
Yes.
Have you ever had to take the test?
But I've heard that, the teachers who are talking to the other teachers saying, hey, if they have to take the test, don't help them pass.
You're right, so you're right, there's a test. What else is there about the test? Okay, alright. What's your opinion on the tests?
I don't agree with them. I mean, they're going to put so much more information on them than we know. The teachers can't cover everything.
Alright, well, thank you very much.
This is the lovely Mrs. Davis, Spanish teacher, and I'm her lovely student. I'm going to ask her a few questions about the attendance policy. Ms. Davis, do you know what is this kind of attendance policy?
I do.
What about that?
I know that we have 9 at each trimester, there's 3 trimesters. You have 9 unexcused absences that you can have as a student, and the 10th, and then you have to take the testing out exam to earn your credit back.
No, I believe it's actually excused or unexcused. Excused don't count toward it.
Sure. I'm thinking AS. You're right. Yes, it is excused or unexcused.
You agree with that policy?
I agree.
You do? Why not?
Well, something in the future, you guys are going to have these professional jobs, and you must be held accountable. And we're trying to train you for the future.
So you don't think anything should be changed about the attendance
I do
policy?
not. Maybe even a little bit more strict.
So have you had students in your class that have tests?
Oh, yes.
Have you given them the testing out?
Yes.
Exam? What do you think about this?
I think it's very difficult. Mine alone is over 3 hours, and both people that had to take it in the first trimester did not pass.
You know, there's one.
I want to say go back.
What grades were?
One was a B, one was a C.
Oh, you think those are acceptable grades?
Now we missed 24 days. No.
Now with these tests, do you think maybe you guys are taking a little bit over the line with the difficulty of this?
No.
No?
Because that testing out test would cover you not being in that class ever. Like you can test out and not take that class. So you're getting credit, like, over the stage, graduate kid, or whatever. So colleges see that requirement for that credit. We have to meet that.
I was Mr. Brown today,